I think the clamor for membership in the Council reflects a desire to get rid of this post-World War II settlement where in the UN some countries are more equal than others. And so having a two-tier permanent membership would defeat that purpose. If the Security Council is to be expanded, it should be expanded with full powers for all the new members.
Do you think that Africa countries would be receptive to it even if they have that restraint on them?
I don't think so. I think maybe they would accept it as a first step, but the agitation has always been clear that African countries want a full seat at the table, not a half measure like, membership without veto powers.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about this idea of a Russian oil price cap. The U.S. and its European and Asian allies are talking about sanctions on Russia and energy prices as they figure out how to ramp up punishments on Moscow at UNGA. Finance ministers from the Group of Seven formally support the idea of a price cap on buying Russian oil, and because it's aimed at cutting Russia's revenue from oil that is used to fund the war in Ukraine. Will African countries abide by a price cap, do you think?
The simple answer is that African countries are likely to be divided on this question. Some will, some won't. So far, only South Africa has come out being clear that they will not follow every step, the U.S. on every step along this path. But, presumably if Russia is offering African countries petroleum products at a cheaper price than what they're currently paying for, they would take that price even if it violates the price cap set by the U.S. and its partners. Or they will buy Russian oil that's been laundered through refineries in India and elsewhere, which may be cheaper than what's the going rate on the international market.
And you think that India and other countries would actually do that?
Yeah, so India and China are currently buying a lot of Russian oil. India in particular has ramped up its consumption of Russian oil. And so the practicalities of the sanctions will be difficult to implement, to put it mildly, right? It's difficult for the US to keep track of every drop of oil. And I think African countries, like other countries on the global stage, will want to get cheaper oil, in part because the current crisis is really affecting their bottom line. Many are oil importers, and anything that lowers their import bill would be very much welcome.